Hello and welcome to the Real Short Box. I'm Jarrett.
I am Kevin.
And I'm Donald.
Today we're gonna spread the love and give some inputs, some outtakes, some intakes. I don't know, just some information.
Side takes.
Side takes.
Uptakes.
Yeah, Sidekicks, that movie. And talk about prospecting. Comic books that we believe will go up in price because maybe a TV show is coming out.
Turn into gold.
Turn into gold. Yeah.
Sidekicks number 1, I believe, was it was Chuck Norris number 1. I believe was the comic. It was a Star comic.
I remember Chuck Norris number 1, yeah.
And I think Ditko did the art for it.
You don't say?
Yeah, I do say. And it's ridiculous. But, you never know. It could be worth something.
You never know. That Chuck Norris guy might make a resurgence again. People love Chuck Norris.
Yep.
As they should.
So, let's see. So I'll start off with the couple that I think, and one I think we've even talked about maybe before, but if you're not following the Legion TV show on FX, please do, in my humble, awesome opinion. I believe it's a great show. It's definitely in the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy, whereas it's an obscure character who I would never in my life think would get his own show, let alone anything starring him. Did, and it's great.
Do you think that, somebody's sitting in a boardroom and they're like, okay, so we need a project. Here's a list of all these characters we can choose from. And they look at, all the, history and the powers? Or do you think that there's somebody in there that's like, I have an idea. Ooh, it's my favorite guy. My favorite comic ever. Oh, I love it. Let me do it.
Johnson?
Yeah. Calm down, Johnson.
It'd be like me with the Fool Killer thing. It'd be like, Jarrett, finally you can do your Fool Killer thing if you just shut the fuck up. But honestly, it's creative. Well, one of the reasons it's so great, in my opinion, is the creator of it is not the creator of the character, but the creator of the show is Noah Hawley, I believe, who did the Fargo show, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. So I think I haven't read any articles on the his impetus for creating it, but I think he was a fan of maybe the New Mutants and thought this was a cool idea to have this psycho, because it's such a mind fuck the show. It's just all about you don't know if you're in his mind, if you're not in his mind. And then there's some episodes that are super streamlined. So it's just when you're kind of getting okay, I'm going crazy too, they do a really streamlined episode where you're like, okay, that made a lot of sense. Now I get why all that crazy stuff was happening.
Right. Yeah, it's just enough to reel you back in.
Right.
Because, I don't know if you remember, but when I was watching, I think it was episode 3, I was like, I don't know, man, this is getting boring. It seems to be repetitive, and they're just doing the same thing. And then episode 4 came.
Right.
And then episode 5 came. And then, I think it was episode 6 was the dance sequence.
Right.
Which just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm in it now for the long haul, till the end.
And I won't spoil, but definitely the last episode, even knocks it. They obviously, used all their effects budget on that episode. It's the second to last before the season finale. And they went crazy with their effects. And it's, for TV, it's movie, good. It's that good.
Wow, nice.
And so, and also, just so you know, it got renewed for a second season.
Good.
But the show, and also the show is beautiful. I think they're shooting it, at least this season, is in British Columbia. It makes you just be like, all right, I'm moving to Canada.
Oh, nice.
Among many other reasons to
I
go
used
there.
to live there, actually.
Really?
No.
No?
No, that was a lie.
I think all the X-Men movies, I guess in this case, the TV shows, are all made in Canada.
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense for Wolverine and Alpha Flight and those guys.
Speaking of Alpha Flight, I should think they'll do something with them at some point.
Oh yeah, I can guarantee it, which is why I picked up the first appearance of that recently.
Yeah, if they did Guardians of the Galaxy, they're doing Alpha Flight. But so as far as prospecting, I'm gonna say New Mutants number 25/26, Legion's first appearance in New Mutants 25. These are one of those. In comics, the cameo/full appearance is night and day, because some books it's the first appearance. Even if it's a cameo, the first appearance is the one you want to get, and that's the big money one.
That's right.
Then some, it's the first full appearance. And it kind of goes back and forth.
So it's kind of like Hulk 181, for example.
Hulk 181, 182. Right. Same thing with Taskmaster. It's Avengers 195 is he's at the end. But then 196 is him on the cover, and I think that one actually sells more because it's the first full, and honestly, the cover sells it because.
Yeah.
It's like that's when people go, yeah, that might be the first technical appearance, but look at that cover. That's the first Taskmaster.
Reminds me of Fantastic Four number 49. You know, the first cover appearance or full appearance of Galactus.
Galactus, all right.
Now, it's really 48 where him and Silver Surfer, you know, make their appearance. But 49, that cover, that Jack Kirby cover is beautiful.
Exactly. And that Kirby guy is going to go far.
Yeah.
In my humble, awesome.
Well, he's 100, I believe.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, he just turned 100.
as of just
birthday.
like recent.
Yes.
Yeah. He's 100 years old. So.
So is
Hail to the
JFK.
king.
So is JFK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then another, and this is a spoiler for Legion / not a spoiler because if you were watching the show, you put it together.
Be careful.
There is a okay. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, and if you haven't, and if this comes out in August and you still haven't watched Legion, then I don't know. I don't really have any. I don't feel bad. I'm sorry. I don't feel bad.
Right. And by the way, we know Kirby's dead. Just throwing it out
and
there.
we also do know Jack Kirby's dead. I mean, these guys are the fucking idiots.
Right.
But Amal Farouk, aka the Shadow King, is the villain of the show. And if you know anything about X-Men and you know anything about the astral plane and who could what morbidly obese parasitic telepath would be fighting somebody, it's the Shadow King. And they finally flat out said it. And it's one of the most terrifying images on TV, this like fat creepy bug guy with skinny arms with like his arms look like a bug, and then he's got like a fat, morbidly obese face.
He has connection to Storm as well.
Quadruple chin.
Yeah, quadruple chin.
Quadruple chin. Quad
And-
chin.
Quad chin.
So X-Men 117, Uncanny X-Men 117, one of the very first, I think, of the Claremont Byrne stories, or I could be wrong, could still be, who was on it before? It was, oh my god, the team on it. It was, I don't know.
Was it Cochran?
Cockrum, thank you very much. Cockrum. Could have been one of the Cockrum issues, but I'm pretty sure it was Claremont Byrne. But such a cool story, the fight on the astral plane between Professor X and the Shadow King. It's super cool, and I want to pick that book up for sure. So hopefully by when you hear this, I'll have that in my possession. And you won't care, but I will, because it'll be in my possession. But you could pick it up. Or not. What else we got, guys?
Well, let's see here. One I'm interested in, and one that surprised me earlier today, and I showed the fellas this, is Venom. You know, with the announcement of a Venom movie coming out in 2018, supposedly an R-rated Venom movie. Apparently, the Amazing Spider-Man number 300 is skyrocketing in value.
And already was a high book. Like,
Always
was
a
a
high
high-end
book.
book.
Yeah.
And now...
Yeah, but not too long ago, it was like 80. I remember $80 when we would go to like the Shrine and stuff. I would see it for like
Like a decade ago, yeah.
yeah. Well, I didn't say it was yesterday.
Oh.
Well, 80, and then maybe recently a couple hundred.
Couple
what
hundred.
did you just see it for?
Well, I was keeping track of today's price, and I couldn't believe it. 78 bids on eBay. It ended at $630.50.
Jesus Christ.
My Lord and gravy.
That's reminiscent of what we've discussed before. I think the X-23 first
Yep.
appearance, which I
Yeah.
was
Donald is like
flabbergasted. That
Now-
book is like $600-700.
And Donald only paid, what you pay, like $2 for it?
10 cents.
10 cents, my God. You talk about a massive profit.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll do an episode where Donald just talks about the books that he got for 10 cents that are like 100 times more now.
It's true because and I think I mentioned it before, but the comic shop I used to go to all the time back in Ohio, Crackle Flint, which no longer exists, they had a 10-cent box, and if they didn't sell their overflow books, like if they had extras, they'd throw them in that box, and you could get them for 10 cents. And so, you know, like I got so many if I was working, you know, I would have like an extra $50 or something to
Right.
blow because I was still living at home.
Right.
That's a lot of comic books for 10 cents a piece.
That is, that's
Sometimes
like
they
a collection.
Dime boxes? Not a quarter boxes. Talking about
dime boxes. Yeah, I would walk out
Wow.
with short boxes full there.
my
Sometimes
God.
I'd just buy them out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
For $1.
Yeah.
That's my daughter, by the way. This is how dedicated I am to the podcast. I brought my 2 daughters here on a school night, nonetheless. Put them in a corner with iPads and headphones because I'm a great father. and let them play Fruit Ninja till their heart's desire.
I'm not playing Fruit Ninja. I'm playing Contest of Champions.
I'm sorry, they're playing Contest of Champions.
Stella's playing Fruit Ninja. Also, I also like comic books, and I brought my pops.
That's right. She brought her comic books and her pops because Donald's got quite the collection of pop toys, and Madeline, my oldest, wanted to show off, and Stella wanted to show off. My youngest wanted to show off her Fruit Ninja skills. And girls, I'm proud of you both. So that was my daughters, and glad you guys got to meet them out there in the pod world. What else? Yeah, we were talking about 300 Venom.
Yeah,
right?
in addition to that, you should also look into, even though it's out there and it's very popular, but it's somewhat overrated, but still a very important issue, Secret Wars #8, the first appearance of the symbiote.
That's I had the most beat up copy of that because I had like all the secret. That's when I was just a kid, straight up just collecting comics and not
you didn't
really.
know better.
Yeah, I didn't have bags and boards. I lived on the streets, the hardcore streets of Marin County. But
Like 2 miles away from the Skywalker Ranch.
exactly, yeah. So, but I had a beat up copy of that one, and then I see it now. I think that one's like minimum $70 maybe.
You could get it for a little less.
Yeah.
You can get it for a little
Well, maybe
less.
Wall Books. I got a shop is
Yeah.
like 70.
I mean, obviously, if you go to a convention show, they're going to jack it up real nice into the triple digits.
Right.
Yeah. I'd like to do a video sometime where we just like record people overcharging.
Just shame them.
Yeah, and be like, and how much is this? And the guy's like, oh, it's $150 for what? For the first Nova? $150?
Really? Because how many movie appearances has he made? Yeah, I don't. Zero. I saw the Nova Core. I didn't see Rich Rider Nova.
Oh, I got to
And
go to
then like close in on the guy's face.
Yeah. So, how much are you gonna sell it for now?
I got good for you. X-Force #1. Why are you selling it for $50, sir?
Oh my lord.
Someone was selling an X-Force 1 for $50.
I saw that somewhere. I almost busted out laughing.
He's
Yeah.
like, this is polybagged. You're like, yeah, everything was
Everything.
polybagged back then.
There's shops or like convention booths where if I see something like that, like an X-Force #1 for $50,
Yeah.
I just walk away. I don't even look at his other books.
Oh, yeah.
I immediately walk away if I see something that's overpriced like that. And guys, that's a good lesson. If you see something that you know in your heart of hearts,
Ridiculous.
is ridiculous, you know that guy is just trying to gouge you, and just
Yeah.
walk away. Just
And
walk
also,
away.
What you sounded like, what was it? Mad Max? Just walk away. If you leave now, you will not be hurt.
Hey, wait.
Just walk away.
What was a thing we had a few months ago at Long Beach Expo where there was that Spider-Man number 6361 I wanted to buy, but it had that interesting defect, and the guy tried to sell it as
Oh, it was rolled.
it was rolled. Yeah.
Yeah, the book was rolled. Like the spine was rolled funny, and he was like trying to tell us that it was worth more. It's more valuable because it was the spine.
Like
was
an
rolled.
error, like a
Yeah.
baseball card
Yeah.
error.
If it
People
was a
love
dou-
collecting these errors.
If
They
it was
love
a double cover, different story.
yeah,
No, yeah, forget that.
not even. I don't even think a double cover, to be honest, is worth anything.
I thought some people on eBay they sell some double covers. And
Yeah, I mean they put them up there. I don't know if they sell.
Sometimes,
But, you know,
sometimes they go.
Maybe depending on the book too. You know, you got to look at that. But a rolled spine like that, no,
You're
no,
smoking.
no.
You're smoking something real good.
Yeah, and I looked at and Kevin was like, "Hey, Donald, what do you think?" And I looked at it and I was like, "No."
You're like,
And the guy really tried hard. He really tried. No, you have to understand. Blah 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 blah.
you're like, why is there like 6 staples down the spine? Oh, that's a cool error. Really?
And there's crayon on this? Oh no, that's an ink error on the press.
That means
Okay.
that kid really liked that. That kid really liked that book, and he drew on it and
Look.
said he put a sticker on it.
it was 1971. This was normal.
I've seen some books that I've been like thumbing through bins, and I'll find something amazing and I'll pull it out, and then I always ask, I'm like, "Can I open this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And I'll open it, and
and it
there'll
just
be like
falls out.
somebody's name written inside.
Like Jason or something
yeah,
like that.
it's always Jason. Damn it, Jason.
I always have to ask, like, I buy on eBay a lot, and I always have to ask that, like, when I see a price that's too good to be true and the picture looks good, I always have to, I'll be like, so, and it's always the ones where they don't tell the condition. They're just like, I'm like, $25 for, like, She-Hulk #1 or something like that. I'm like, this looks really good. And then they're like, I'm like, can you just tell me the condition? And they're like, oh, well,
Marvel-
there's writing on the inside.
Or even
Like,
better,
yeah.
the Marvel value stamp was cut out.
Oh, Or
Well,
I'm not a pro grader or anything, but
But I'm gonna chirp you off anyway.
right.
I heard one guy. I think he was trying to get information from me because he was like, it was the first Howard the Duck appearance, and that I'm always gonna forget what it was, like Adventure into Fear or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
I think it's 19 or something like that.
something
I don't
like
know.
yeah.
Mm.
But that book, and I really wanted that book, and this guy, we kept going back and forth on prices, and he finally was like, I'm like, I really want to get this book from you, but I just think this is a fair price. And he was like, well, why do you think? I'm like, for the condition it's in. And he's like, well, what's the condition? And I told him, and then he never got back to me because he was like, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. And also, like, I don't know what condition I'm dealing with here. He's like, I
Right.
think it looks like a good book. Or those ones where they just go, I think you'll be very happy. Like, well, will I be?
Right.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you do order a set, and a couple of the books are like all bent up through the mail or something like that, and then people try to play dumb. Oh no, I packaged it correctly. It's not
Yeah.
my fault.
Don't even get me started. I've had a book one time, a big time comic that I ordered, slipped inside a manila envelope with no backing board or anything. Just in a manila,
no bubble wrap.
inside a manila envelope, nothing with it.
Just
but,
went, rip. Yeah.
but that, yeah. And it was like completely trashed. And I messaged him, and I wasn't nice.
Yeah.
I was like, how dare you
Yeah.
send a comic book in the mail this way, and let alone, how dare you not have it bagged in. I went full rage nerd on
Yeah.
it. It was crazy.
And what was the response? I have to hear this.
It was an apology, actually,
okay.
surprisingly.
Well,
Some people
good.
get self-righteous. Well, I did it this way, and I packaged it that way. You should
Well,
be...
no, I've had that too. Don't
Oh.
get me wrong. I mean, everybody that listens to this and that collects has probably had their fair share of that kind of attitude on eBay if you purchase on there. So I'm going to go with a little prospecting here with the Justice League movie that's coming up at the end of the year. And I'm going to go with Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 134, which is the first appearance of Darkseid, and Forever People number 1, which is the first actual appearance of Darkseid, but on a computer screen or on a monitor, you see his face.
This is exactly what we're talking about, the cameo full
Yeah,
appearance.
so his cameo is in Forever People number 1. That's the first one.
Hey, that's a great cameo, though.
And
That's
then
pretty good, yeah.
and then he appears again in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 134, which is the most recognized one. So that one I think is going to go up through the roof. They haven't said that Darkseid, of course, is the big baddie, but I think they're doing what Thanos has
Yeah.
been doing in the Marvel universe. They're teasing him in the background.
Plus,
Right.
when you see parademons in Batman vs. Superman.
And mother boxes,
And mother
too,
boxes.
right?
Right, they're building towards that. The next thing I'm going to say is my next choice on this would be, and it's the reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's the same, the movie, is DC Comics Presents number 26. That is actually the first appearance of Cyborg, and as a bonus, you get the first appearance of Raven. So that's a really nice,
Yeah, those kind of books are awesome.
yeah,
a nice
really
treat.
nice book.
Nice treat right there.
I picked it up last year or year before, I think, for like $40. It was 34.
Right.
$34. That was a fair price back then. Now I don't think you can touch it for probably less than $100,
Yeah.
but it's still obtainable. These are some good characters. I don't see them losing their charm anytime soon. Darkseid especially. So those are the ones that I would look at. Even if the movie fails, and let's be honest.
Darkseid is a staple. Yeah.
Yeah. Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
But,
Zack Snyder.
even if the movie fails, I feel like these books are still going to go up, 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 up.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Darkseid is a staple. He's like a kingpin, a Thanos, as we were saying. He's just one of those villains that's not going anywhere, or if they do die, they're coming back. It's like that guy's just one of the DC big baddies.
I have faith in Jason Momoa to carry the film. Don't worry.
Of Mr. Aquaman himself.
Mr. Aquaman, he'll carry the film.
Oh, well, let's hope. Let's hope. Aquaman looks like he'll be a cool dude, and it looks like it's going to hopefully be a good movie, but we'll see.
Yeah. Some other ones, I would say they've been announcing this. I don't even know if they've given it a title yet. It's an untitled X-Men show that's going to be on. I know Bryan Singer is going to write the pilot or direct the pilot. And they've been announcing characters who are going to be in the show. One of the ones they've announced is Polaris. Or Polaris.
Mm-hmm.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Tomato.
Avocado.
Yeah, I say avocado. And that is a Uncanny X-Men number 49. Super awesome cover. She's just on the front. It's all green because for some reason
And her glorious
she's green. Yeah.
Glorious.
And she's a character that's going to be in it, judging on whether the show takes off or not. Either way, that's also just she's a cool character and it's a great book. I know they also mentioned Blink's going to be in it. I know her first appearance was during that whole Phalanx story.
Oh, Phoenix Covenant.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It was. It's the one where Skin is on the cover from Generation X, and my daughter is pointing to herself very proudly because her awesome father got it for her for Christmas.
Now, that is a good daddy.
Yeah.
That's a good daddy educating her daughter on the good old 90s comics.
And what comic did she just get today?
Oh, that's right. Mr. Donald here had an extra Booster Gold, and he gave it to her for a very, very fair price.
$40.
No.
$40,000.
Oh,
How about 10% of $40?
Yeah.
40,000 pesos?
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Madeline just watched the Justice League Unlimited show.
Hey guys.
There she is with the was it the greatest story never told, where it's all a Booster Gold story, and it's great. It's really cool.
That
It's
is a
just,
fun one.
Yeah, him and Skeets just trying to get in on the action, and meanwhile they end up saving the day, but nobody knows it because they do this whole other thing. But it's cool. So yeah, those are some other ones.
Kevin has one, and then I think I can come up with another one here.
Yeah, this one is a very important one, and many of you out there have known this for probably a good 7 years now, and that would be Thanos. Iron Man number 55, his first appearance. And now
No, I think that was actually Goonies, the
Goonies?
film, where Thanos first appeared. Oh, I'm talking about the actor.
It's about the actor. Talking about the
Josh
actor.
Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
Such a good movie. I did the Goonies tour when I went up in Portland.
and you're going to be one of the last people who got to do it because the lady who owns the house,
Yep.
said no more.
Dude, we even walked up there with a pirate flag
Oh wow.
and took our picture in front of the house. And like then other people that were coming up were like, "Could we borrow your flag?" So we had to stand there for like 20, 30 minutes
They
while
borrowed your
people
flag?
borrowed our flag. We could have sold
I was
flags.
going to say you just been like $5.
That's what that lady should have done, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like instead of like shooing people away.
Well, she was supposedly like really cool, but then
She was,
people were like
yeah.
just like idiots.
Heathens, yeah.
Heathens and assholes were going there and drinking beer and like smoking and then just leaving it there.
Yeah, throwing their trash
Yeah,
out,
like
which
it's-
is not cool.
No.
You ruin it for everybody when you do that.
They did ruin it for
Be
everybody. yeah.
respectful when you go to sacred movie location tours.
So I'm sorry, it's not Josh Brolin's first appearance. Thanos' first appearance, Iron Man 55.
But this is like a treasure trove book, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are multiple characters besides Thanos. We have Drax the Destroyer,
From the Guardians of the
Guardians
Galaxy.
of the Galaxy, Star Fox,
Star Fox.
That's the one I was looking at because I really wanted his first appearance,
and
and
then
then
you're
I
like,
saw.
oh.
Never mind.
and also it's funny. I never heard much of them since that issue. I even read it myself just recently. The Blood Brothers. Have they shown up
The
anywhere
Blood
else?
Brothers. No, I don't.
It's kind of cool.
Kind of
Yeah.
cool, but like they sound like a cool set of characters, but I don't remember ever
first-
seeing them again.
I was thinking of the Brothers Grimm, those two guys that were in like Spider-Woman books, and they think some Iron Man titles. But no, I've never heard of the Blood Brothers. And was it Moon Dragon? Because that was the daughter of. I think before she was Moon Dragon. I think she was in that book as well.
I believe so.
Heather Douglas. Why do I know this? This is how much of a nerd
That's
I
a
am.
big
Yeah.
nerd.
Super
Yeah.
nerd.
Super nerd.
I loved a good shaved head telepath woman.
So that's a hell of a book right there.
Yes, it is.
Damn.
That
mean,
is
That's something you give somebody for Christmas.
yeah.
You give them that. That's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
A special gift going back to 2010.
that's a gift you give them 7 years ago, and you regret every day. No, I don't regret. But it was that was something we went in on for it, and it was
Donald
it was
and some
well
friends
worth it.
gave Kevin that book.
Yes, they did.
So Kevin is the one person at this table who should check his brakes as he drives home today.
Well, I thought you would kill me for Luke Cage, Hero for Hire #1. I thought that would be the book you wanted to kill me for. Since you're just
Once
big.
again, Kevin should check his brakes before he drives home today.
I do have a special alarm in my car.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of what was it? Who's Harry Crumb? You ever seen that
Oh
movie?
my god, the John Candy film?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. When they cut the brakes and he decided to take the car for a ride, that was pretty, pretty enjoyable. I always remember that. That was
Yeah.
always lots of fun, and the whole scene with it going down the road and him trying to slow down and hitting into the back of a car and hooking onto it and stuff.
I miss
I
John
don't know.
Candy.
John Candy's
I
the
miss John
greatest,
Candy.
dude.
I used to go every, I think it was every other week, or it was once a month, to the,
My daughter just asked if she could take her shoes off, and I punched her in the face. I mean, I said yes. I said yes. Yes, you can.
so that, I mean, I used to go once a month, I think it was, to the Second City in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And John Candy's daughter, Jen Candy, would have a show.
Oh, wow,
called, really? Yeah, it was called Couch Candy, where she would interview people that worked with her father.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
Like
I got
Steve
to
Martin? Did you ever see Martin?
Steve Martin was not there,
Oh.
but they had Martin Short.
Oh, cool.
Martin Short's one of the greatest,
Yeah, and they had Eugene Levy
too. Oh, wow.
and
nice.
George Wendt
Oh, wow.
and a couple other really great actors that came in. And it was only like an hour-long show,
That's
but
awesome.
it was super cool and very informative. It was a
What-
lot of fun.
And how cool for her, too, to kind of get to know her father and that
Through these men.
through these men.
Yeah, because she was pretty young when he passed.
Oh, that's Uncle Buck was the movie for me. I still, to this day, love that
Great
film.
movie.
And-
My John Candy one was The Great Outdoors.
Oh, the great. You know, I auditioned for that when I was a little kid.
You're
Really?
shitting
In
me.
San Francisco, I auditioned for. There's a couple movies that I'm like, could have changed Jarrett's life. Dick Tracy. I auditioned for Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty.
Nice.
And that kid who got that also got some other movie. The kid who was in Hook and all that other stuff got into. You got another movie that I auditioned for. And
bastard.
yeah. And hold on, Madeline. No. Sorry.
What do you have to do these days to steal a pop toy?
Madeline's trying to steal Donald's Pop Toys. I've raised thieves.
That is a Class 2 felony.
Yeah. So yeah, I auditioned for a couple of those things, and but I'm here, and that's better. That's better than that.
The
Would
real
have been.
short
Right,
box
sure.
will lead to your multi-million-dollar
It's okay.
dream. It's okay.
It's okay.
You'll be a millionaire. Interesting enough, Donald, this
Yeah.
year's the 30th anniversary of one of your favorite Thanksgiving movies. Planes,
Trains, and Automobiles. That's right.
1987.
Oh, I love that movie.
He watches it every year faithfully.
It's the Thanksgiving film.
He'll watch
right?
it by himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if you don't want to watch it. He will watch it with or without you.
Okay, so I have another one here. Speculating. I'm advancing in my speculation. I'm going a few years out because I know this will be a little bit.
Right.
But I'm going with the Omega Men #3.
Ooh, good choice.
First appearance of Lobo.
Right.
This book, up till a few years ago, was like $1.
Right.
Like you
If
could
that.
you could find it anywhere. That like any convention, people had it. In fact, I found a guy that had a box and he had like 5 in there, and I think I bought 3.
For a quarter.
I kept one. I think I sold one to you.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, and then I sold another one on eBay, and then I found a bent up copy that I'm looking at right
Nice
now.
reading copy.
Yeah, nice reading copy. And we turned the page, and Kevin's eyes bulged out of his head practically. For what is this?
This is an advertisement for Intellivision, one of the arch rivals to Atari and ColecoVision.
Oh, it was a whole system.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I remember. I mean, this ad I remember seeing.
This is from
in
1982.
Tons
so
of comics. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, 35 years ago.
With the guy running. I thought that was just for a video game.
You know, now that I'm looking at this book, the Guardians of the Galaxy, DC needs to take notes. Legion, Rebels, even the Omega Men. If you incorporated some of the Omega Men in with some of the guys from Rebels, you could have a hell of a show or
my
a hell
God.
of a movie.
Well, I know they keep banting about the Legion of Superheroes, which could work out. But I think something, a little more hardcore, like Rebels or Legion, the Legion Legion, would be
Awesome.
like a straight up like, yeah.
I credit Tony Bedard for this table's love of Rebels and DC.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for him writing that, and sir, you wrote a hell of a series, and I want to do a whole podcast
Just on you.
just on you and your work because we're fans. We followed it.
One of the most underrated writers in the industry today.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But just looking at this book itself, the Omega Men, it's a pretty book. You know, it's
Clean
great,
pages.
great art, clean art. Got some interesting characters like lizard ladies with nice big boobies and
Matter of fact, fact, you convinced me
Devilman.
to buy the first appearance of the Omega Men, if I recall.
Yeah, the first ever appearance. It was a Green Lantern book.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another thing I was like, look, it's out of the box, but it's space. It's DC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know DC's tried Green Lantern and stuff, but if they decide to go outside of that box, there's two ways you can go, really. It's with Rebels or it's with the Omega Men. And it could be one and the same if they combine them or do something with it. But I think there's a lot of potential there. So I think having the first appearance of the Omega Men or the first appearance of Lobo, who actually has a huge part in Rebels,
Yeah.
would be important to get. So those are a couple more prospective books
And real docs.
in first appearances I'm looking at. Vril Dox, his first appearance was a Superman comic, an earlier one, and I picked that up just about 3 weeks ago or something. I think I bought it on eBay. It's a
Right.
great book.
And Lobo's got like he's one of those. He's got like a big following,
He
right?
sure does.
It's like a
Yeah.
borderline. It's like he's kind of like a DC's Wolverine in a sense, as
Yeah.
far as like
And if it, like, when they changed his look and his attitude,
Right.
People were
in
pissed.
the New 52, yeah, people lost their mind, and rightly so. It was terrible. In fact, it was so bad that when they got rid of him, they got rid of that character when they went back to the rebirth, I think
Right.
is what they call it. When they went back to that,
the
there's-
fixing.
yeah, there's a Green Lantern book, Hal Jordan, and
redo? Yeah.
Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, where they have all these cities bottled.
Okay.
Brainiac is doing it for Laura Fleas.
Okay.
He's like bottling all these cities, and in one of them he has this small, tiny Lobo, that Lobo, and I think it was John Stewart or one of the other guys leaned in, and I think Guy Gardner or somebody, Kyle or someone was holding that bottle, and the other guy leaned in and he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't break that one. That one needs to stay in there." And I was like, very clever,
That's
guys.
good.
Very clever nod to getting rid of something that never should have been.
Wow. Yeah, F the New 52. I'll say it to the day I die.
There were some good things that came out of the New 52.
Swamp Thing, Animal Man. Those were good.
Swamp Thing, Animal Man, Frankenstein, and the Agents of Shade. Or Frankenstein,
throwing
Agent
shade,
of
those
Shade.
guys.
Yeah, throwing shade. Frankenstein throwing shade. Was great because they used the Atom as kind of their scientific head guy that created their headquarters.
Oh, that's interesting.
That was in a microscopic world that floated around. So there was
Okay.
just this tiny little ball that floated around, and you would have to be able to get near there to shrink down. It would recognize you, shrink you down so you could fit inside of there, so you can fit inside of their home base, which I thought was super cool. It was a
That
really
is
cool
cool.
idea. So that All-Star Western I thought was really good. Batman was good for a while.
Right.
Aquaman wasn't bad either.
Aquaman was decent there for a little bit, but overall, just a lot of mess.
Yeah.
A lot of war comics and stuff that didn't work. Hawk and Dove was just terrible. There was some things that they didn't make it past 6 or 7 issues.
Yeah.
And also, Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern, it kind of ended too soon. I can tell he was being rushed off to be more of an executive and head over to DC Entertainment, so I didn't like the way he finished his run, but because it had so much great potential to end his story arc there.
Right.
That's a different story for a different day.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, New 52. Schmifty-2.
Yeah. Overall, I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah. So I think that'll do it, right? I think that's
Yeah.
all we got. So
think
yeah,
we're good.
check out those books. I mean, half of them are already kind of up there. So,
Especially the Spider-Man at 300.
Especially
He
that
almost gave
Spider-Man.
me a heart attack earlier today.
Yeah, that Iron Man 55 and Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Yeah.
You're going to have to save up some ducats to get that.
yeah.
The first Polaris, I don't think is that unobtainable, but again, it's an early
It's
X-Men,
a 60s issue.
Yeah.
so it's not going to be cheap.
No.
I think your best pets are probably Uncanny X-Men 117, Legion, or his first appearance, which is New Mutants number 25,
Right.
and just get 26 while
I would
you're at
say
it.
get those while you still can.
And especially the DC Comics Presents number 26, being the first Cyborg and Raven.
yeah.
It's still obtainable right now, but that's going to get crazy.
It's only going to go up. Too.
Right. And
yeah.
Forever People is still relatively obtainable, $80.
Yeah.
You can get it on eBay right now as I speak.
Not bad.
Yeah.
How much does the Jimmy Olsen one go for?
Well, I bought it. When did I buy it? I bought it about 7 years ago, I think. I finally found a copy. They're hard to find.
Well, yeah, it's a weird book.
Yeah, I paid $30 for it, so I got lucky.
Oh wow.
Um,
It's got to be like, I would think minimum 100 now. Like,
yeah, a minimum of 100 now, at least, if not like a $300 book.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 134. That's not going to be a cheap one to get. Forever People will be a better bet as far as like cost wise, but I think more value is going to come from the 134.
Yeah.
But with that, I think those are the ones that you guys should look at, and we're going to be doing probably a few more of these as we go forward, prospecting ideas for you guys, comics you should look into. But please, please, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook page. You can follow us on there. We do SmackDown Sundays now, where we do battles of who would win against certain characters. You
Throw out your advice, your picks, throw out
Leave
your
us
ideas.
Leave us comments. Tell us what you think.
Right.
Subscribe, obviously, to iTunes and rate and review it. And we'll see you at the comic shop.